Hello, hello, hello again, everybody. This is AltJake. You're listening to AltJake Takes On. My buddy George and I here are coming to bring you a little extra take, a little bonus review and discussion for some stuff we wanted to bring up today. George, how you doing, my friend?
Well, you're awfully zippy today, aren't you? You came
I'm
in
in a good
hot.
mood.
Hot.
It was just my birthday. I mean, I turned 40 from how old, it's good. No, I turned 43 yesterday. So yeah, had a good birthday, spent time with the family, had an amazing steak dinner. So I'm in a good mood. I've stayed inside all day because it's 108 out there. So we're doing good. We're happy.
Yeah, that's good.
Also, we've got over 220 subscribers now. So I want to thank everybody again for subscribing, sharing, liking, doing the comments. We're getting a lot more comments and activity there, and all of that helps the algorithm and helps us grow. But it's cool to see, actual more subscribers coming in almost daily now. There'd be times where, like, on Monday we'd be at 185, and on Friday we'd be at 186. So it would be a little tough. But to see, we've gone from last Thursday at 180 to today, which is the Friday. 8 days later, we're at 222. That feels pretty good. So I want to thank everybody for that too. Right? That got me in a good mood when I saw 222 this morning. I was like, all right, that's super motivating for me, at least, So that's where I'm coming in hot, coming in swinging. I'm in a good mood. We'll see if what we talk about keeps us in a good mood.
Yeah,
but
speaking of coming in hot.
yeah. But yeah, we at least wanted to kind of cover and give some love to AEW. We want AEW to be good. We watched as much of this. Was it 2.5 hour show? Yeah, I didn't know that until it started.
Plus the overrun.
Yeah, right. So they had 2 4-hour shows. They had a 2.5 hour show. Not a damn one of them ended on time. I feel like that. I mean, I know the overruns are to keep it like the real feel or whatever with it, but I feel like when you're running that long, there's got to be a point where you say uncle. But yeah,
I have a legit question before I even start this thing.
Yeah,
on this show particularly, they had 10,000 people there, okay, which is legit. They had 10,000 people. That is what, 4 to 5 times more than a normal crowd for Dynamite. Yes,
roughly? Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, especially if you want to go on normal on average. Right. Yeah, I mean sometimes they'll do bigger, but yeah.
Why would you say that you had a sellout crowd when people are going to see empty seats, and not just say you had 10,000 people, which sounds a hell of a lot better to me? Yes, maybe.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. I feel like there's certain things that, and I hate to pick on Tony like this, but you got to, because he's the one who puts himself out there, puts himself in charge, and gives himself all the titles or whatever. But with him, he's got certain things in his mind. It's kind of like why he wouldn't go over to the CW like we talked about with Ring of Honor. Like he wanted to only be a part of WBD and that network and that company, even though they've been fragmented off and it's nowhere near what it was when it was Turner's company. And yeah, I feel like he would rather say that, like he loves to say that it's a sellout. Even he'll do it where it's like, if it's a 15,000 seat arena, they set the seats for 4,500 and they had distributed 4,500, so they call it a sellout, but it's not really a sellout.
That's fine. I can live with that, but
I can too. But it's just a point of that's the thing is, it's like for me, if it's like, again, 10,000 seat arena, we'll just use that as an average. If you're packed it in and you set it up for 8,000 or 9,000, you've got that many in, and you just did the seats that weren't used because they were blocked for the stage or whatever. Okay, great, that's fine. But saying it's a sellout just because we've sold out the amount that we allotted for, but you allotted for less because you knew you couldn't sell them.
They've all done that though.
They all have. Yeah, it's just when the repeatedness of it, I think.
1930.
For sure. No, it's just that the thing is, it's like when you're doing that and you're seeing growth and you're fudging a few things to make yourself look a little better. It's one thing when you're just out and out lying, like when you get on a boat and decide to lie to, was that Yahoo? Is that who he was talking to? That he was BSing the other day that we talked. So it's just, I'm with you 100%. I would, be excited about
if they would have just came out and said there's 10,000 people here, I would have been seriously impressed.
Absolutely.
But then you find out the arena holds 16 and they only had 10.
Right.
Damn it.
Yeah. No, right. Yeah. It's
right there. It was right there. You say 10. Their normal crowd is 2 to 3,000 people, and they got 10. Flaunt it. Fuck God.
it's just and they focused on the wrong shit. I mean, I say it till I'm blue in the face, and we keep saying about how, like, from day one they were focused on being competition and taking out WWE and going to war and going to battle, and it's like you didn't have your army ready. You know, it's like you got to train the army before you go out there and start fighting, or you're gonna look like, you know, this with their, I mean, what was it? They had a 12-man tag that turned into a 14-man tag and another 10-man tag, and just, I mean,
I love the fact the opening match was a 12-man tag and they added 2 people.
I was just,
that was creative. I give credit there. It was fucking funny.
I just, those points with that many people on the ring, just, and I mean, I get it because that's part of lucha. Like that, there's part of that to it where lucha is a little bit more chaotic, you know. But that's the fun. That can be the fun part about it. But one of the whole reasons of why we were praising Worlds Collide so much is because they presented it more in the style for a United States audience, but still got like the best parts of lucha in. I feel like a lot of this was just like, well, this is how they're doing down here in lucha, so we're just gonna throw these crazy tag matches together, or have well, I mean, AEW has a shit ton of run-ins anyway, but I felt like there was a lot more at Grand Slam than I did. I mean, just it was a lot to try to digest as it went along, but I mean, we could at least go through some of the show. There were some good things.
Yeah, there were a couple things that stood out. The 14-man tag was what it was. The 10-man tag was what it was.
Right.
MJF was pretty decent for what it was.
Right. A lot of them were for what it was. I mean, Hangman's promo that he cut was pretty decent. Like he drives me insane because it's like you can see the potential and the talent and where he could be great. And then there's always something that he does that's just stupid or drives you nuts, or like, you know, wears a shirt like this.
That's nice. That's nice. I like that. What I tell you he was missing? The bolo tie. That would have been
yes. Oh no, for sure. Yeah. No. Well, it took me a second. I'm like, well, shit, he's missing a lot. Which one was? Yeah. No. Even with the belt buckle he had too, the bolo would have been. And I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. We are like the inventors of the bolo ties. So I was just, or at least the ones who wear them the most. But
my second wife made me wear a bolo tie for our wedding.
Yeah, there's a lot of Western weddings. I was the best man in a wedding. God, what was it? 16 years ago now, I think, maybe 15, something like that. And yeah, we all had to wear bolo ties and cowboy boots. So yeah, and I owned neither and had to obtain them for that. But you know, the things you do for your friends. And then even like, you know, the stuff. I just, again, you want it to be good. Like, but the Mystico and MJF match too. Like, there were parts of it that were great. I still kind of laugh at MJF in the MVP gear. To me, it just looks like one of those male rompers, and I can't get that out of my head. Like, but it was it was a good match, I guess.
Yeah, it wasn't. But look at that crowd. They had such. I'm gonna harp on this. I'm sorry.
No, you should don't be sorry. And the way the arena is set up, I don't like a lot of it is GA. A lot of it's general admission. So like you could have just block off certain parts that aren't going to be televised and just force it and keep saying, yeah, you nailed it. Instead of worrying about saying the word sellout and focusing that, like, we got 10,000 people here, or even if it was 10,005, hey, we got over 10,000 people in here. Just keep focusing on that, and that would have been a much better.
Yeah, because they ended up screwing themselves, man. They really did by saying that.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot to grab a picture of it, but Brody King coming out in the Abolished Ice shirt got a big pop over there. That was pretty funny. At least it made. I mean, you could see what he's trying to do. I just was like, I'm not sure if that was the right place and time to do that with it, but hey, good for you, buddy. I mean,
there was only one match here I was really wanting to watch, and I'm assuming you're going to get to it shortly.
I mean, it depends on which one we're talking about. I mean, the one
There's only one.
That's it. One? Yeah,
that's
right.
The one.
Which, no, I mean, the match was fine. It was what it was. I mean, Mercedes is who she is. Like, I know everybody thinks she's like the greatest in the ring ever, and she's very good as long as her opponent's good. You know, I feel like she's.
Can I tell them what I told you earlier before we got on?
Yes.
What's her name? Zezus?
I think it's. Hang on, I've got it right. I think it was
Zezus.
Hang on, I've got the spelling right here, and I have it phonetically. Zeuxis. It was Zeuxis.
Zeuxis. I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, it's a tough one. It's a weird one.
But she was in this match and she was pissed. You could tell she was not happy.
Yeah, it was like boo boo face times 10. There wasn't any boo boo. She was pissed. She was.
Yeah, you could tell on the look on her face. She looked like, why am I doing this again? I don't understand. No one else understood either.
Yeah, and she knows too that, like, you know, for whatever storyline, again, obviously I can't speak to the CMLL storylines. I don't know exactly what's going on with them in there, but I'm assuming it probably wasn't a set for her just to lose her title to somebody who may come back down and defend it. But clearly, I mean, look at her. Like, the goal right now is just getting as many belts as she can on her.
Toni Storm runs in, causes a disqualification.
Well, hang on. We mean Toni San Diego. Yeah, I did like that look from her. I thought that was fun. See, that's this part of the Toni Storm stuff that you enjoy it, but there's parts of it like, is it too funny? Is it too silly? But I Carmen San Diego, and somebody, like I said, I just turned 43. I was right in that wheelhouse for the video game, the TV show on PBS. I was a big fan of. Still wish I could have gotten on there as a kid with rockapella as the music. Like, I was a big fan of that. But sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
If she comes in and causes a DQ, Zeuxis keeps her title,
and Mercedes doesn't lose. Exactly.
Doesn't lose. Exactly. What's the problem?
Yeah. Apparently, it wasn't good enough for Monet. Like, she needs everything. She's all the belts.
More. She's getting one more.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Which I feel you got to feel bad for Toni in that realm. Like, she has put everything into this. She has completely revamped herself and done a bunch of crazy shit with like the match with Mariah May and all the blood and all the the table spots and everything else. And she has carried this women's division for what, 2.5, 3 years now. Yeah. But let's be real. We're going to add another belt to that. Like, it's just going to happen. And then
what's the payoff to this?
Thank you. I was right where I was headed. You read my mind, my friend. Thank you. That's what the hell are they going to do? I mean, what has she got? 7 now? 8? Like, she's not going to have 8 individual matches and lose them all. Like, so they're going to, like, what are they going to do? Have like a winner takes all match with somebody and then that person goes around and loses? Or will she just like get somehow injured and relinquish? And clearly, like, Toni is giving her the world. He wants to give her every single thing possible because, I mean, let's be real. He's clearly in love with her. That's pretty obvious to most of us, at least.
Maybe we don't.
I'm just saying from my observance. That's true. This is just my observance. I believe this is not what I just from what it looks like to me. It seems like somebody that I don't want to say obsessed, but he's in love with her. I mean, that's the easiest way to explain why he would give her all the money he's done and given her this complete creative control. Like I said, she's a great wrestler, but she's not worth what they're paying for. Clearly, I mean, the TV numbers have gone down. She came in trying to be a babyface because they thought she was going to be a big star, and they had to turn her heel quickly because nobody likes. And I don't know, the dance that she does, all of her promos are the same. The stuff
maybe he wants to be Toni Mortis.
Oh, because that's the other job. She's getting one. She's adding something else to her collection as well. And what's the latest news is that she and the Beast Mortos are dating, going at least on vacations together. I'm not really sure, but from the rumors that we've heard and what we've seen, it seems like Toni is upset about this, and that's why he has been, hey, I'm on a boat. I've got all this money. I'll give you everything in the world. It's a very odd situation, and I just the whole thing just
You get a chance to see this man without his mask.
I have not. You
said
you've seen it, and all I have heard people make comparisons to is that he looks very much like Roman Reigns, and we've seen how much the ladies swoon for Roman, so it's not that surprising. I think it's kind of funny that he wears the mask and the gimmick that he does, if he is that attractive of a man to look like it is. But that's what I mean, that's the best part of all the quote unquote lucha style characters on AEW. I mean, he's the one that stands out the most just because he's different. Like if you put him in Hologram's gear or Bandito's gear or Gravity's gear, you would tell it's him. Like he would look different. You could tell it's
he's
the three of them though. You could interchange them in any mask, and would we really know the difference? I mean, maybe, but he stands out, and you feel bad for the guy that if Tony is as petty as we've seen, and if he is as in love with Monet as it seems, Beast could be eating a lot of pins here. Or maybe he'll just go be a lawyer. Maybe he'll just go, be Frank the lawyer and work that way. Go do something with Stephen P. New versus worrying about.
I'll bet you money he starts rising up the ranks.
I could see that. Yeah. Because I mean, like Tony might be pissed, but he's too awkward and weird. Like he'll do whatever Mercedes wants him to do. Yeah. No, it's very very much like a Pretty in Pink type of situation. It feels like it's just a very, very odd scenario. But I mean, that was their show. Like it was fine. I can't even say it was good. Like it was fine, but it was what we expect. Yeah. The problem is, again, they're just focusing on the wrong things. If they would just focus, I mean, I know they'd had this show planned out, but it felt like the way they presented it and what they did was clearly, or at least to me, it seemed clearly a response to Worlds Collide. And that's one of their other bigger issues is they're reactionary as opposed to actually trying to be proactive and do things differently.
Right?
The show was planned. Yes. Yeah. Oh, the show was planned. I'm just talking about the presentation and how they did it. And no, the show was planned for a while, as far as I know, but, at least they didn't have to worry about. At least they didn't move it. At least they didn't try to put it in like the Azteca Stadium outside in Mexico City, and then realize they couldn't sell it out. So, but I mean, this show was what it was. I don't really have much else on it. It was what it was.
Fine programming.
Yeah.